When I first learned about the Casio W221H back in February 2026, I must admit that I was quite excited about getting my hands on one. Casio is infamous for releasing watches that have almost all the features that you need in them. The key word here is almost, because there always seems to be an area or feature that they cut back on rather than giving you the full Monty. Take the W800H, it would be most people's idea of an ideal digital watch. It's not too big and it's not too small. But it doesn't have a countdown timer, or at least it doesn't straight from the factory. So you could get the F201 instead, which is a similar size and shape and does come with a countdown timer. But you lose the 50 meters of water resistance. In other words, there always seems to be something missing. With the W221H though, it seemed that Casio were finally going to release a watch with all the functionality that I wanted and nothing being missing. But my hopes were cruelly dashed. The reason my hopes were cruelly dashed was that I assumed the W221H was going to be a worldwide release, and so I waited patiently for it to become available at my usual retailer. However, after many months of waiting patiently, it still wasn't available, and so an email to Casio UK revealed that it wasn't going to be released in the UK, and neither, it seems, in mainland Europe. Without further information from Casio, I'd only be guessing as to the reason why it's not going to be released here. Whatever the reason though, it does seem to be a crazy decision, as they surely would want to be maximising sales as a company. Another watch channel, Greg Anderson the Good Timekeeper, was also pointing out that the GWBX 5600 was not available in North America, which equally doesn't make any sense. So as I was not able to obtain the W221H from the UK or my usual retailer in Spain, I had to obtain one from a private seller directly from Japan. The shipping didn't take too long. I received it in 2 weeks, but the delivery charges and customs duties pushes up the price of what is supposed to be a $35 watch. The version which I received is intended for the Japanese domestic market, and the packaging is rather plain as shown here. The watch itself is also slightly different from those intended for international markets, and I'll show it to you on the left side of the screen. And this is what the international version will look like, as shown on the right side. There is a difference between the two. How many of you can spot it? At launch, 2 other variants are also available, one in a cream colour and one in black with a negative display. The first impression of the W221H is that it appears to be larger in real life than I expected. It is supposed to be a mid-sized watch measuring nearly 44mm in length, 38.5mm in width, and 12.2mm deep. These measurements are nearly the same as the W800H, and yet the W221H appears larger. Here's the 2 watches side by side. Although it appears larger than the W800, it's not as big as another popular Casio, the AE1200. And here it is compared to that. Here's how it looks on the wrist. The USP for the watch is the large and clear display, and in real life it does not disappoint. The digits are large and clear, and I also appreciate the use of a dot matrix style font used for the day of week. It probably has the largest digit size compared to case size ratio for any Casio watch. Another Casio that I can think of which also has large digits is the AE1600, although of course that has a much larger size case. And here it is compared to that watch. The material used for the case construction is resin, and that includes the crystal. I did read initial reports when the watch was first released that the metallic bezel surrounding the display was made of metal. However, those reports were wrong, and I can confirm that the bezel is also made of resin. This does help to keep the weight down, as the whole watch weighs only 35 grams. The only elements of steel used on the case are the push buttons and the back plate. These buttons are about the same size as those on the AE1200, but the resistance to presses feel much lower. I would take an educated guess that this is due to the W221H offering only 50 meters of water resistance, whereas the AE1200 comes with 100 meters of water resistance. The case shape itself is actually octagonal due to the sloped corners, although it does appear to be just rectangular upon first impression. There are also some horizontal lines etched into the sides, which matches those on the strap. The strap itself is an all-resin construction, including the buckle and keeper. It does feel quite thin and flimsy, and I'd imagine that it would not last very long if it were used in a humid and tropical country. If I were to put a positive spin on it, I would say that it's soft and pliable, and it doesn't require a breaking in period. Inside the case is a brand new module with a reference number of 3585, and it uses a single CR2032 battery, which should power it for around 10 years. However, the software that's programmed into the module is reused and comes from a G-Shock that was first released over 20 years ago. I don't know whether it's because the watch uses old software, but there are a couple of idiosyncrasies with it, which I found while operating the watch, which I'll now demonstrate. The first is that there seems to be a small delay from when pressing the mode button and the time it takes for the screen to respond. The delay lasts only a fraction of a second, but it is notable because it doesn't happen on other Casios. The second quirk happens when setting up the watch. One of the things you need to do is to enter the UTC offset for your location. The reference table in the back gives a value of 0 for London, but I found that I had to use a value of 1 for the world time feature to work properly. On other world time Casios, I can just select London as a location instead of having to set the UTC differential. Despite these quirks, the W221H is actually very well specified. What you get is world time, 3 alarms, one of which is a snooze alarm, and a 24-hour chronograph and countdown timer. Button tones can also be muted, and the switch to 24-hour time can be done at the press of a button. You also get a feature called Flash Alert, which makes the screen light up when the buzzer sounds, which I'll now demonstrate. Finally, here's how the backlight looks. It's provided by 2 amber-coloured LEDs and can be set to stay on for either 1.5 or 3 seconds. The W221H is almost the perfect Casio that I was looking for. What would have made it perfect is if it showed the current time whilst in other modes, so my hunt continues. There's a lot to like about it, and there's no doubting its popularity in regions where it is sold. But Casio really should have made this a watch available in all regions. So if you're watching this Casio, please release this in Europe as well.